We're live?
We're live.
We're live! All right. Hey, Facebook, what is going on? Welcome to the Whine No Whine Show, where you can be friended and offended all in the same hour. That's right. The show where we're saving America, one civil conversation at a time. It's okay to disagree, people. That's why this show exists. I promise, if you tune in and you're watching the show, you're probably going to hear something you disagree with. And it's okay. You won't grow a disagree tumor and die. Perfectly all right. So, as we're talking about all the fun stuff that we're going to be talking about, we're going to enjoy some great wine, right? We are in a great wine club where we get to enjoy fantastic wine and get paid to do it. How do you like that? Today we're enjoying a wine. It's called Mistico. It's from Spain. It is a Granacha. You have to say it that way, by the way. You have to go, Granacha.
Everybody got to growl with it.
Yes, a little growl. Granacha. Yeah, what's up? We're like 2 minutes into the show, it's already devolved.
I'm dating myself with that one.
What's up? Granacha.
Better watch it. Budweiser might get you for trademark.
Right. Trademark infringement. Look out. So this is going to be. It's a new thing. A garnacha. I've never had these before. I have gotten to try this one in the last couple of weeks, but I've never even heard of a garnacha. I don't even know what that is. Aha! Volume unknown.
Volume control. Our topic for today.
I need to learn how to set volume control on my phone as an alert prior to the show, because I always forget every week, and every week we have someone's phone go up. So I'm going to be pouring this as our guests introduce themselves. And this is the part of the show where they get to shamelessly plug themselves, because I don't have sponsors. This is all for free, so they can do whatever they want to. How you like that? So, start with the ladies over here. Y'all introduce yourselves. I'm going to be looking for sharing and that sort of thing.
So, hi everybody, I'm Kat Sanford, and I am the owner of Kat Sanford Events, and what we do is we teach entrepreneurs how to use events to build their business, but more importantly, how to have an impact, a greater impact on the world, and come together and collaborate. So, I'm really excited to be here, and I need to pass this to somebody who can figure out my volume control, because
He knows it.
yeah, so I know a little bit of technology, but on the new phone over here, I'm a little challenged. So I'm really excited to be here. Shameless plug. If you are looking to figure out how to create events that engage, I am having a lunch and learn on June 30th. And best way to find out information about that is just like me on Facebook, Kat Sanford Events, and I will send you the information, because we're still working on getting that link live on our website. So, and Joe, thanks for inviting me today. Thank you.
Glad to
A
have
little
you.
collaboration going on here. I love it. You need my code.
You don't know how to hack
Technology.
I could
I'm excited to know you, Kat, and sign me up for. I would love to register for the upcoming event, because I need your services, and I want to learn how to help my events will.
Oh, there it is.
My events, eventing for a purpose, for a bigger
There you
purpose.
go. There you go.
Yeah.
Events with impact.
Events with
Thank
impact.
you.
I love
Thank you. Okay, now I can play.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, hi everybody. Those of you that don't know me, I am Cindy Goodson. All of my friends call me Cindy G.
Cindy G.
Of the Cindy G Project, and you can find my Cindy G Project on Facebook. It's simply an umbrella of everything that I am and that I do and that I aspire to do, which is to help you design the life you desire to live and live in the body that you love to love. Ultimately, that means that I help people get healthy, wealthy. We're working on wealth platforms all the time. These are my partners. I just found out today that I'm so excited about that. I'm also an author. My book is entitled Ladies Stop Thinking, Start Shrinking. It's a 10-step guide to help you lose your fat and fibroids fast. So
Can men participate?
men can participate in the first part, okay? The other part is all for the girls.
I think I heard a little bit about that on
Yeah.
your video this morning.
Did you? Yes.
I sat through it, though.
Full-time English professor, and I love what I do. I love teaching. I love the platform.
I knew you were a professor. I didn't know you were an English professor.
It's English, yes.
Very good. I was an English major. We should talk about that sometime.
Let's not, because I'm not so passionate about English. But, you know, I got lucky.
I like reading.
So, yeah, okay, well, I love reading. Now,
We can
that's
talk about
what my
books.
degree's in,
Right.
literature. So,
There we go.
other than that, I'm a serial entrepreneur. Like many of these, like several of us here on the platform, I'm a master seller with Direct Sellers, the wine distributing company. I'm excited about that, and we like to help people get in, get wine, and get social.
There we go.
There we go.
All right, Chris.
Me next. All right. So I am a firefighter, paramedic, safety guy in the oil field. Recently got out, and now I'm an artist. I'm doing artist services. I'm painting abstract logos and people's inks and symbols. I'm in Pancakes and Booze tonight. My shameless plug. If you're not gonna make anything else, come to Pancakes and Booze. Free pancakes, lots of booze, lots of art. Can't beat that.
Where's that at?
Warehouse Live. Warehouse Live.
Warehouse Live. Pancakes and booze.
Where's Warehouse Live?
That's gonna be dead center downtown.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it's gonna be right across kind of from the stadium.
My
It's
daughter
also
said
the
she's
21
going.
best things to do in Houston this weekend.
Oh, very
Is
good.
that 21 and over?
18.
All right. So
Yeah.
my daughter's
18
gonna be
up.
watching later. She's gonna go downtown with her friends.
Yeah, tell her to hit my booth.
There we go.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright.
There we
Tell her
go.
to hit my
You'll
booth.
get some pancakes, if no booze.
Yeah.
Yeah, no booze.
No
but
booze.
pancakes.
Dad said no booze.
No booze,
No
Taylor.
booze.
Pancakes.
We got an eye on you.
I'm just kidding.
I'm
just joking.
Not him either.
We're gonna be talking about tattoos in a minute, so you know that could be
Yes,
right there
yes.
with it. So.
We're gonna get into it.
Oh, but my gallery, my studio is in Jomar Visions, my second plug. Please come to our events every third Saturday.
Fantastic art, by the way. He has some really cool stuff.
Yeah, I think.
I dig his stuff.
Thank you.
Ken.
My turn. I'm not really going to plug myself, although my Facebook page, you're on Facebook now. Open a new tab. Go to facebook.com/The Texas Realtors. That's my Facebook page. My plugs are actually for other people. First one is, I'll try to make it through this without tearing up, but first one is my daughter Taylor. She just finished her freshman year. Better if I don't get the camera, I think.
Alright.
She made Dean's List both semesters as a political communications major.
Woohoo!
Awesome.
We won't hold that against her.
She holds 3 jobs at school.
Woo!
The one that
She's rocking,
I think
I can
is
tell
the most awesome is she's a teaching assistant starting
Yes.
next semester for Dr. Moore, who is I believe is the most popular professor on campus. He teaches a class called Race in the Age of Trump. It used to be called Race in the Age of Obama. It's the most popular class on campus from what I understand, and Taylor's the teaching assistant for that, and that's a paid job.
Oh, wow.
Rock on.
That's
She
very-
is
I'm
also
so proud of her.
Salute Taylor.
Taylor, yes.
Yeah.
She's also
Good.
a
Lots of clinking.
she's also a student mentor in the Moody School of College. I believe that's for incoming freshmen. I'm sorry, I haven't asked her enough about it, but she's been doing that as well. That's also a paid job, and she is a lab assistant. That's also a paid job. She is paying her way through college on her own with scholarships, grants, and her job.
Proud dad, yes. See, I'm not the only one. My daughter's running the camera, y'all.
Your daughter
Right?
is amazing,
Yes.
everybody.
She laughs at me for doing the same thing, Ken.
My
So
mom cries at all my
validation. It's validation.
So she intends to go to law school, and she wants to prosecute human traffickers. Is what
Oh.
her first ambition out of law school is.
She wants to prosecute
Eventually, I
traffickers.
believe, Taylor, is this still your ambition, is to be a judge and then hopefully someday Supreme Court justice?
Victory.
When the first time he
Keep
said
them big,
the
keep them
first
big.
time Ken told me this, that she wants to prosecute human sex traffickers, I said with as much seriousness as I could muster, I said, how do you think she feels about forming like a special committee for like taking them out afterwards?
Yes. Well, I told
And I was
her,
like, serious question,
I did tell her that,
didn't know I was
one
joking.
direction she could take it is, CIA route.
Like we
something
go Batman.
that, or a politician. can-
CA is still
can
too
fund
formal.
that.
I'm thinking
I
more
have a
Batman.
contact for her.
I'm thinking more. I'm thinking
Definitely
more
a nighttime
Batman.
crime fighter. Yes.
Right, right.
So I'm getting to
we were doing like martial arts staff stuff out in his parking lot at 3 a.m. while drinking wine one night. So
That's the studio life.
yeah.
Thank you for distracting me from the tears. So,
Yeah,
You need
there
to
we go.
divide up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Getting to the plug, but
Shameless plug.
in addition, okay, She is moving to an off-campus apartment for the first time next year, paying for that by herself. And she just bought a car as the primary borrower at 19 years old, a new car. Yes, and paying for that herself as well. If you're an attorney in Austin and you know who I'm talking to, Mr. Castro, and you need a paid intern, hopefully, contact Taylor or any other attorney who is in the Austin area that would like an intern next year. Taylor would be great. And for people in the Houston area, when she comes back on breaks, she's interested in being a nanny, and also she's very good at coaching kids in tumbling and cheer, as is the second plug that I have, my daughter Kennedy. She's 2 years younger than Taylor, and she is the toughest kid I know. She's been through some adversity that I won't get into, but she is tough, she's smart, she's funny. I think she's going to be a stand-up comedian someday, either on the side or maybe all the way.
Tell her to come do a set at my studio.
You have comedians in there?
Yes,
Yeah,
I do.
she's convinced that's not what she is, but man, she's the best straight, the Jerry Seinfeld, straight.
It's an extra tough road to go if you're female, but it's extra tough if they're cute, Ken. So you may want to steer away from that career.
I saved that for last. They're both beautiful. She's beautiful, but I saved that for last.
I don't know why that is in comedy. You kind of have to look weird, so.
I don't know. There's some.
I mean, that's what's kept me from the career. I'm just saying. Yeah, right.
She doesn't want to be a comic. She don't want to go into comedy.
So Kennedy is also, she loves cheer. They both have worked at Roland Ballard. Shout out to Roland Ballard as coaches. And she would also make a great
Roland Ballard, we will be sending you an invoice.
a great babysitter or coach Kennedy would be.
This show's run on a shoestring budget, so I'm looking for any opportunity to bill somebody. I'm just saying.
The next two are shorter, and then I'll be done. Okay? My insurance agent Arthur.
Who's he with?
First insurance agent that he can write for 30 different companies. I have through Nationwide with him. So
Nationwide! Yes! I'll be sending you a bill.
More specifically, Arthur. Okay?
Arthur with Nationwide.
Arthur with Nationwide.
Check your mail.
Check your mail, buddy.
Arthur is also a CE instructor for realtors. And I believe Arthur, you better sign up after I say this. He's going to be in the wine club. So
nice.
He'll bring wine to realtor events.
Nice.
Wine club, DC seller.
Those 5 o'clock meetings that realtors come to get CE training, wine and cheese. Is there any brokers out there or realtors who have a broker's ear? If you want to get in touch with Arthur, shoot me a message on Facebook. I'll hook you up with him. Last but not least, a performer that I met last night. She's a hula hoop performer. I met her at Moe's Irish Pub.
I want to be
And
there.
she just, out of the blue,
That's a
just
great exercise.
got this hula hoop and started hooping, and the whole staff
Just
and
started
crowd were
hooping.
watching her. And her specialty is hula hoops with fire. She does events.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen that
I want to
before.
have her at a wine
Yeah.
tasting. She's based out of Houston, but she travels. She's in Colorado right now. Her name is Sarah. And again, if you want to get in touch with Sarah, just hit me up on Facebook, and I'll set you up with Sarah. And those are all the plugs that I promised.
Houston Wine
Wow.
Gang. Houston Wine
Yes.
Gang.
I'm telling you, wow. Ken is he's the first guest I've ever seen use his shameless plugs for his daughters. That's really
I'm
cool.
sorry, I got one more.
All right, yeah, I saw it. Go ahead. Ken is going to strip now.
Is it that kind of party?
Well, yeah, all right. I didn't know.
This is the only political party, that I've ever belonged to.
The beer ponging founding
Red
fathers.
Solo Club. Excuse the
Right.
pizza stains; they don't come out in the wash.
Very nice, very nice. All right,
Oh,
Ken.
man, that pizza stand.
All right.
Right.
All right, so some shout outs as we get into the show here. I want to thank Lori Gaelic Copic for tuning in. Lori, thanks for
Woo,
being
that's
part of
my
the
girl.
show. Yes. Tiffany, what's going on,
Hey,
girl?
Tim, what's up?
We
My
know
girl
Tiffany,
Wilson,
that's right.
Wine Gang.
Barbara Jones, she said, is that
BJ.
CJ?
Hey, BJ.
Is that CJ?
BJ of Atlanta. Tiffany in Atlanta. Let me give shouts out to my girls.
That's
Hey,
right,
love my
right.
girls.
James Hargrove, who was on last week, wants to know what bourbon we're tasting this week. Obviously missed the name of the show. James is a great guy.
I was
He's
expecting
in the
beer,
Keywood
so-
area.
Carolyn is out there too. Carolyn Lantini. Hey, Carolyn. We love you. girl.
Daryl Warren, thanks for tuning in, brother. We got earlier. It's already went off. I can't get back to it, but
Rebecca Garrett is out there.
Okay. We had Steve, who is always on the show, and this is his first show that he's missed since we've been airing, and he's out of town, and he sent his love. David, who is monitoring the feed, who has been a fantastic help for me. David Pipkin, from the very beginning of the show, has been supporting the show and being back here on the page, answering questions, and just great help. And David, post your shameless plug again. You have an event going on tonight. I saw it, but I don't remember the name, so I can say it for you, and it's already off the screen. So there's another opportunity for you. Barbara, we already said Barbara.
That's BJ.
Yeah, BJ.
Yeah,
that's
we know
right.
her as BJ.
That's right. Mr. Harris. All right.
Torian, hey
That's
Torian.
right. He's
Hey,
tuning
Torian.
in. Rebecca. She's
Rebecca
tuning in.
Garrett.
That's right.
Oh, she is. You're going to be Rebecca.
I don't see-
And you are going to absolutely fall madly crazy, over head over heels with her fire.
Oh.
Okay,
very
let me
nice.
just tell you that.
I like that.
That's some fire.
Leah Mills. No hula hoops with fire in that room. Just
Hey,
saying.
we already got enough fire. Yes, we have plenty.
Yeah.
Darn.
Yes. Randall, what's going on?
Randall.
Coming into
Chestnut.
it without fire.
Right, right.
Add a little performance to the show, Joe.
My business partner, Randall Chestnut, is up in Dallas today. So that's why he's not
in
here.
Dallas. He just missed us. I just got back from Dallas.
I know. He just got up there.
Wow.
So Carolyn Lentini is
Hey,
tuning
Carolyn.
in. Carolyn, what's going on, girl? Tiffany,
See you tomorrow, Carolyn, at Theo's house. Same shameless plug.
shameless plug.
We
That's
have
right.
wine tasting. Big wine tasting event at our partner, Theo Moore, up in Tomball, Texas.
If you want to know where you can attend a free wine tasting event with premium wines from all around the world, hit us up. We'll be glad to share the event with you.
I don't even drink wine. That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
All right,
It's the
all right,
bomb.
all right.
It's the
At the end of the
bomb.
show, we're going to rate the wine. So
All right,
you know that's
all right.
right.
It's like the second
So
one
here's the
we've
deal,
had.
guys. We're gonna jump into some topics, and we'll probably go all over the place. But this is a live interaction show. This is not where you just tune in. As you see, we're watching the feed. We're gonna talk to you, and we're gonna address the comments as much as we can. David is also monitoring the feed from remote, and he's gonna be chiming in and commenting as well. So please interact, share the show, get the word out. Listen, I'm telling you guys, this is the philosophy of the show. I feel like it's a calling for me that America has lost the ability to disagree civilly, right? As soon as we disagree, we start name calling. You're a libtard, you're a republitard, and I'm going to go outside and burn your car up. I mean, that's just like how it is.
Can I interject something there that we've
Interject.
talked about before? There is a really interesting graphic.
No, Ken, what the hell are you
The
thinking?
first place I saw it was on the Washington Post. I'm from Washington. I still read the Washington Post. And it goes back to, I forget how far back it goes, but it shows Republicans in red in Congress and Democrats in blue. And it shows how they,
I remember this.
on certain bills, how they voted and crossed aisles, right? And it used to be all the reds and whites were interspersed. And year after year after year after year, the red is over here, the blue is over here, and there's only one or two dots in the middle of Congress people that will cross the aisle and vote with the other side. And I think it speaks to what Joe's talking about. We've become more and more polarized in our political views, and not just political views, race, religion, things like that, over the years.
That's why we're here.
Exactly.
That's why we're
Yeah,
here,
here to
because
fix that.
we're going to fix it. We're going to start with the wine, and we're going to work our way out.
I
into
like
the
where you
real
started.
Wine
issue.
fixes a lot.
Start with the wine.
But we realized, what have we realized over wine? Like, it can make or break some situations. Like, it can either bring people together and you can crush some ish and like really work things out, or
End up on the bathroom floor.
you
crying.
go.
But everybody's hugging you. It's gonna be okay, man. It's gonna be okay.
Hold my hair.
You don't have to worry about that one.
I'm good.
See, you know what I think is really sad about that is it's a sad commentary of where we are right now, and that things are not getting taken care of. So like the human trafficking, mental illness, whatever the situation is in the world, economics aside, because I know sometimes economics split the, ways that people vote and things like that, but just like, when you think of the causes, and even the economics coming together and, workforce and things like that, and bringing up the next generation, I think we have a great opportunity to come together, over wine is better, but
Wine is
but just
better.
come together in general and make a difference.
deal with it.
And
Like,
just, yeah.
Absolutely.
I think
Gotta start
dealing with
somewhere.
it,
Yeah.
dealing with it or the avoidance of. So,
Yeah.
so many things in so many areas among so many constructs in our systems, we don't deal with ish. And that becomes a bigger problem, and then by the time it's time that we think about dealing with it or come back to dealing with it, it's so far, escalated, that now we just wanna drop, bazan.
I will. There's so many other distractions now.
Everything's a distraction.
Yeah, well, it's just there's nothing
look at you
to,
three over there.
to hone in on. Well, you know,
throw me
if
into
you
this.
don't want
How
to
did I
deal
get
with
into that?
something, there's
You're on
plenty of
your
other
phone.
stuff to do now.
Oh, yes.
When I was
Well, I'm not-
when I was growing up,
talking
it
about
was
something
like
else?
there was a
I
couple
did.
other things. You know, there's like two
Yeah.
other things I could do. There's this or this. Now I get to pick the worst. You know, I
Well,
pick the best.
To clarify, I was talking about the phones. I wasn't hitting, you said how I wasn't hitting on any of you. You're being
I thought he was
distracted
saying y'all were
by-
distracting the
Not
kid.
that
That's
not
right.
that I'm above that, but that's not what I was doing.
You see where I went? I was
would've
like,
said-
Ken
would've
Snyder
said
hot.
right.
Ken just called my guest hot. But how did I get lumped into it? Wow, this is getting strange. It's a small room.
Well, Cindy
I'm
said
glad he
it's
clarified.
the first class.
That's
You're right.
something
I'm just
She
kidding.
said she wanted to talk about that subject.
Right,
I
we're gonna talk about that. Well, real,
it's not
real
about
quick.
me.
No, we're gonna get there for sure. I wanted to say I would submit because I kind of started the premise and everybody jumped in on the comment, which is awesome. That
Oh yes.
I said that America's lost the ability to disagree civilly,
Yes.
right? But I would also submit that we've had an environment where people tell you, oh, look, if you're out at a party or if you're on social media or all this sort of thing, never talk about religion, never talk about politics.
That's right.
True.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm like,
everybody
those
says-
are exactly the
What we
things
need to
we
be
need to be
talking
talking
about.
about.
Absolutely.
How about this? We talk about them like adults instead of like little tantrum-throwing children
Exactly.
that are going to get into a fist fight if people don't agree.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't like you
Right?
anymore.
You know, so I think what you said, it escalates, right? So
Yeah.
what happens is we surround ourselves with our little immediate circle, which is like normal human behavior with people who agree with us. And then, because we never talk about it and we never experience disagreement, it's all pent up. And so when you run into somebody who disagree, it escalates so fast because you have no
like that.
skill
Yeah.
in talking about it,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Whereas if it was the norm for us to be in public and interact with each other and go, wow, I totally don't agree with what you're saying, but help me understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, let me
Right?
understand
Help me.
it.
If that was the
is
norm.
a magical line right there.
If that was the norm, and by the end of it, you know what? I still may not completely agree with you. I may not agree
But I
with you at all,
understand.
but at least I know where you're coming from, and that's
I
cool.
don't think you
And
agree
I'm not
with
just
a
super
single
smart.
thing I've ever
I know,
debated with you on.
Ken and I disagree all the time. It's perfectly okay.
You said the SD card was full and the recording has stopped?
Oh, and that's perfectly okay.
Okay.
Yes. My daughter let me know that the SD card is full on the Mevo, which is fine because we don't have to record this. It's live.
But we're still like
Yeah, it's live.
live.
Yeah, I'm watching it live. It's okay. So real quick, before we jump into the subject, we're going to jump into a subject here. A shameless plug for David. He had posted earlier and I missed it. He's going to be performing tonight at Casa Nueva on FM 1960, 7 p.m. If y'all want to go. So you got pancakes.
Right after pancakes and
I
booze.
was going to say. if
Or
we're go-
before. You can
Totally
do that before.
hot.
I go to midnight.
Hot,
or
hot,
2 in the
hot.
morning.
It's a totally different area of town. So
Yeah.
so you're downtown, he's out in the spring area. So you've got some choices. That's the kind of
There you go.
power we have on this show to provide entertainment choices around the city.
There you go,
See,
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I'm going to tie it back into the show somehow, right?
You'll do it.
Um,
You'll do it.
Let's see. Steve here. Cindy gets it. Cindy gets it. I don't even know what you get it
Thanks,
about,
Steve.
but you get it. Yes.
Maybe he knows about the
We
subject.
talked earlier.
Maybe
Yes.
he knows about the subject you want to discuss, and that's what he's talking about.
Ah.
No, I think it's the statement I made earlier.
Daryl said
I'm
Cindy
kidding.
G has me drinking green smoothies and they're delicious. Now you guys have me thinking about making a wine smoothie. I would,
that sounds
Daryl. I would,
avocado banana wine.
I would be
Banana
remiss
wine.
in mentioning that I have actually thought about a wine smoothie.
That's not a
So
bad idea.
just tossing in there.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
I'm not saying
Let's see
it's
about
Torian said the conversations are actually banned in his line of work.
I saw that.
Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy?
Wow.
What's the line of work?
Military.
He's in the military,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, because they carry weapons. So
Yeah,
I might,
And drink a lot of beer.
We're in Texas, so you know,
I might
it's
be
not
okay
much
with that
different.
ban. I'm just saying.
Keep watching, Torian.
That's
I
right.
want to hear from you.
Hashtag can we find a way? No doubt. I see you, Cindy. All right. David here. Thanks, Joe. All right. Okay, so we kind of addressed everybody that has chimed in thus far.
And Scott Coleman joined, and that's actually my mom. Hi, Mom.
All right, shout out to Mom.
Shout out to Kelly Locatelli. Hey, Kelly, wine plus friends equals a good time. Yes.
My
Thanks, Kelly.
last little plug here before we dive into the conversation. Kat brought me a no whining button. I love it.
Love
Name
it.
of the show: Why No Wine. That's
Turn it
right.
On your lapel for you there, bud.
Right. Like a corsage. Yes. This is the show where we have wine and we don't whine. So this is conversation, not complaining. There's a big difference. So with that said, we have a couple topics of discussion. I don't know, we can jump into. We kind of talked about tattoos. We meet before the show and start drinking before the show. So if you're wondering how jovial we are going into the show, now you know why. So we've already started the show like an hour
And we
ago.
all have Uber on our phones, right?
That's right. We all have Uber available.
Uber, you're getting a bill.
So we have two totally different topics, but two can be very controversial topics. And we can let the audience kind of chime in off this. We had a topic of talking about tattoos and their acceptance in our culture, and whether
Alternative lifestyle.
Right.
Tattoos, piercings.
piercings, etc., and whether they're acceptable, and a pretty doggone heavy duty subject. Cindy,
Y'all ready for this? Let's talk about addictions.
You can't say sex, that's not PG?
That's totally
I
fine.
want
That's
to leave
totally
something
PG.
for the imagination.
Okay. Sorry.
Addictions.
Let's talk about addictions.
While we sit here and drink our booze.
While we
Right.
drink several bottles here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll be the first to admit, I was born an alcoholic. Isn't that something? That's heavy. Everybody's like,
Wow.
Settle the room down real quick.
I just run all the way down.
I'm just gonna go ahead and set my wine
You
down.
want to set it
Yeah.
down?
Take
So,
my-
okay, let me do this. Let me pose a question. How many of you out there, as well as here as hosting, how many of you feel like, or think, or believe that one can be conceived into an addiction? Through
yes.
conception.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
That's a proven
How
method.
many of us here potentially have been conceived through some type of addiction? Show of hands.
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Right here.
You don't think so?
You mean your parents were addicted
Your
to
parents
something?
were getting full.
I was
Regularly.
born in the 80s.
I was born in the late 60s.
California.
Well,
Oh, you Cali.
I'm adopted,
Oh.
so I don't know.
You don't know?
Don't
Very well
know.
could have been.
Don't know.
Well, the tendency
I
show
grew up.
the
I grew up in an alcoholic home, so I can.
Well,
say
that will influence as well. Always the environment, but those tendencies will definitely show up. It's like predisposition, the DNA predispositions, and those are the switches
Runs in my
that we
family
can.
very, very,
I'm also a
very
PhD
far.
student.
Yeah.
I'm studying health psychology, so I do a lot of research on, what happens at the cellular level and
Absolutely.
biochemically what happens and what are we really. 'cause
Addiction
my-
is definitely genetic. I mean,
the genetics and
Yes.
genetic
Runs in my
coding and
family, big time.
epigenetics and how what part of this do we take on and turn the light switches on, or how do we keep the light switches off on those genetic coding issues and addiction, sex addiction, drug addiction, whatever the addiction is.
I'm literally almost done with the book right now. I'm in the final chapters. Genetics, genes, an intimate history of the gene, and that's a big part of it is the genetic markers and influence for behaviors, and they focus mainly on disease,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
on and
Yep.
off switches
Yep.
for disease.
Yep.
But
Same thing.
alcoholism is a disease.
Thank you.
To lighten it up a
Where-
little
you
bit,
see where the
I'm
break-
gonna admit, I'm an addict. I'm addicted to air and water.
No, air and water.
Definitely an addict.
Well.
Boom, boom, right?
Yeah.
Bad joke, sorry.
Well,
That runs,
I don't even give
that
a
runs in our
fuck.
family.
Your family.
Wow.
Every you know who I'm talking about.
Ken,
There's a dad.
that joke really
You gotta laugh
tanked.
about it.
Tank.
You're a funny guy, you're so
No,
funny.
the puns are getting out of control.
So I have a book, and I wish I remembered the name of it exactly, but it's something about turning on your brain. It's the science behind not only addiction, but also the thought process of your forefathers, or what they think, their mindset gets carried down through generations, which seems kind of far out there. So if you have somebody like a great-great-great-great-grandmother that was like a very negative thinker,
Yeah.
that can actually get passed down
Are
through the
you
DNA.
kidding?
When I
And that's
started
not
with-
genetic, that's just mind and
Yes,
communication
yes,
and passing
it's
it down.
like-
Yeah.
So,
It
so
can be both, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
it
sure.
can definitely be both.
Because you wire your brain. When you think like that, you wire your brain to be like that, and then you pass that on.
And what I've learned through nutrition and being a nutritional coach and being a certified holistic nutritionist, before that I had to heal myself naturally because I was facing death, and I refused the surgeries and the medicines and all of that Western medicine protocol, or you know, the types of remedies. It's not a remedy. The solution to the problem, but I went natural, and as a result of that, I learned through my research that we don't inherit disease, we inherit recipes
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Oh yeah, 100% agree with that.
and mindsets
Oh,
There's
and
definitely
lifestyles.
There's definitely so you know, with the book I was reading on genetics, it's definitely like a disease makeup will get passed down. It doesn't mean that person necessarily is going to have that disease, but based on what switches get flipped off and on, that person may or may not get the disease, and consequently, diet and all kind of things can come into a part of that behavior to where, based on one of those diets, a switch gets flipped on that then triggers the disease. So. It's almost in the nature versus nurture. It's almost that kind of conversation where your genetics are there, the markers are there. You have the makeup for the disease, but then based on some behavior, you're flipping on the switches that then cause the disease. My business partner, who's in Dallas right now, his mom is in late stages of cancer, and I grew up with him. I've known him since I was 17, and we're business partners. We've been friends for over 30 years, and so I stayed at his house like it was second home. Snuck out from his house and got in trouble with his mom. I mean, like, you know, that kind of thing. You know, we get busted and I'm like grounded, you know. And so he's dealing with that, and she's going through chemo. And he and I had this conversation in my office yesterday, where I said, I think chemo is going to be one of those things where 100 years from now, people look back on it and they say, they did what to treat? To me, this is like drilling holes in the head to relieve pressure and all that sort of thing.
Yes.
They still do that, but
Where chemo is a poison.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's proof that certain types of cancer actually grow and accelerate under chemo treatment. And so...
I wish you told me you were going to talk about
I had
this.
no idea, Ken. I had no idea. I'm sorry.
My
I'm sorry.
my mom passed away March 1st, 2011 from throat cancer.
And that is one of the types of cancer. My wife's grandmother passed away from that.
my dad just got over it.
I
as
was
well.
with her when she
Remission.
passed. And it's
so
tough.
sorry.
And it's
tough.
one of the types of cancers that is accelerated by
It's
chemo.
tough when it's talked about.
But
It causes a
is.
reaction.
Sure. I'm
It-
sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't know.
no,
I didn't
sorry.
know.
Let's do this. I want
I'd like to remember
to
my
tie
mom,
that.
so,
I want
yeah.
to tie that same subject into the field. When we're talking about addictions.
Mhm.
How do you guys think that it applies to your lifestyle when you are now you're an adult? You grew up in an environment where there was abuse or sexual pathologies, addiction, just people just running through hundreds of people and just having no thought of, and I don't know if the
Back to that escape.
Escape.
They're distracting
so you got
themselves from what
same
they
with
don't
they're
want.
numbing themselves through
Self-medicating.
sex, self-medicating through sex, for example.
Or whatever it
Or
could be,
drugs, or whatever.
That's how you get your endorphins, right?
When you
you're
get that
medicating the
when you get that low,
endorphins into
you're
yourself.
waiting for that
Talk
endorphin.
about that.
Well, you know, I'm a paramedic, so I lived off of adrenaline rushes for 5 years, right? So you come off of an adrenaline rush, and now my adrenaline rushes, they're not the same as anyone else's, because now I purge when I adrenaline rush. Slight bit of adrenaline, my whole body purges, because when I was in paramedic,
What do you mean it
For-
purges?
so all that adrenaline in that adrenaline gland, because I need it, because that's how I train my body,
Yep.
because I'm a paramedic. So when I roll up on scene and see bodies everywhere,
Mm.
it's boom, all my adrenaline, here we go. And so now I could jump off a 10-foot ledge and then kick that little adrenaline rush, but then it's not little anymore. It's like, oh, I'm ready. Like, wow. It doesn't go away. And so
And how do you fit like that?
how do you
As Ken moves that.
No, but after that you have to build it back up, right? So you don't have the adrenaline reserves anymore. So now depression, all those bad that stuff that you don't want in your life is susceptible to creep on in, right? So when that creeps in, you have no way to release, right? And so you're just finding ways to release. And the next thing you know, your buddy passes you the joint or whatever, you know, got the key in the bathroom at the bar, you guy or whatever it may be, and then
To replace the adrenaline.
shoot, that worked. And then the drugs are addicting.
I gotta say,
And so it's just a dirty, dirty road. I mean, I've been down with multiple substances.
you just taught me more than any counselor, doctor,
And
or
You just helped
shrink
you just
ever
helped
did.
hundreds of people out there.
No, really,
They would,
I've
they
been
would never
through it.
get
I've
this.
been through it several times. I hate to say specifics, but I will.
I mean, we're here. We're coming clean.
I've been addicted to weed. I've been addicted to cocaine. I've been addicted to acid. I've been addicted to sex, masturbation. I mean, porn. Yeah.
Is that PG?
It's not PG.
Hi,
but
Mom.
Sorry, Mom.
Kennedy,
Sorry, Mom.
stop
My mom
watching
is cool.
for
My mom is
while
super
here.
cool.
It
I'm
wasn't
just
for
gonna say
very
that.
Well, that's, you know what, that's life.
It's
That's
not
real
a very
life.
long process
I'll-
for me. It's a 4-month process of going through an addiction. Some of them are longer, some of them are shorter.
Yeah.
But when I find that it's an addiction, I have to acknowledge it. I have to acknowledge it and remove myself.
Oh, please, yeah.
And
Dude, I'll tell you
yeah.
something. Here's a
I
a
find
thing.
good outlets like art.
And Chris, thank you
Exactly.
for being
Thank you for
vulnerable
being-
and sharing. I was
No
thinking
doubt,
about my mom
no
comment
doubt, man.
Because Joe, I want to add something after you
Go ahead.
speak about just
Go ahead.
one of the things I think that's really important is that we all have our own personal struggles behind the closed doors.
Oh yeah.
And
I've seen
For-
everyone's
for people
personal
to
struggle
be-
behind closed doors, but I do.
yeah,
You know?
but I think it's really, and I've got people in my life that have struggled with different addictions, and there's a lot of unspoken judgment towards them. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
trying to find a job in a certain profession or different things like that, and
I'm a paramedic.
it doesn't mean that they're a bad person.
That's
They
what
just
you were
may-
talking
I-
about
I will-
earlier, was
I
he
will-
was
make
not-
some
was not-
choices.
I'm gonna put a
We can speak
totally.
to all of that, can't you? To all
Yeah.
of that, yeah.
That's
I'm
my
gonna,
opinion.
I'm gonna put a total different spin on this.
Okay.
Addicted to these.
Yeah, that's just another
That's
another
it.
thing, right?
Pain.
Pain.
Takes me away.
So, I will tell you this: that growing up in a family with an alcoholic dad and all that sort of thing, right? I learned to be a comedian. I learned to be funny. Right?
Because
Your
you can't be
escape. That
sad.
was your
Are you
escape.
sure?
As a,
I haven't laughed much tonight.
Ken, hey, how's that?
I just made the daughter laugh.
How's that working out for you, huh? Right? No, go ahead. This is good.
so I learned to be funny to diffuse the situation,
That's
right?
where I get mine from.
And so check this out. You know, I have an addictive personality,
Very
right?
much so.
Somebody.
But for whatever reason, apart from
That
alcohol,
can be good, by the way.
I never got
Business-wise.
into
Be addicted to money
Business-wise.
too.
I never got into any behaviors that publicly would have any judgment on them,
Right.
right?
Money, money's an addiction.
Right.
Things are
Right,
addictions.
absolutely.
Been down
So
that
that's why I
road
said
too.
I was gonna put
Materialism.
a different spin on this,
Yeah.
right?
Is that you?
I don't know what notification that was, and like the volume is
happened?
off, so I don't even know how that
It's
happened.
the jazz hour.
Notifications is still on.
Like I said earlier, I'll moderate the show if you'd like.
Right. Anyway, to hold this moment, yeah, please hit the notifications for me. What I was going to say is that I know I have an addictive personality, and consequently, from a faith perspective, I've had behaviors where people externally look at me, oh, Joe, he's so driven. You know, he had a best-selling book. He's a serial entrepreneur, had successful businesses. Go down these things, but when it comes to my faith with God, an addiction to success, an addiction to a business. Well, that's, you can't. No, I know. I know. Right? He's looking at those things in my conversations with him and saying there's no difference between drugs and an addiction to a success.
Yes.
There's
Considered it an
I
idol.
think there's
Right,
a little
exactly.
bit of a difference, but I do think that you're on the right track because the difference there is going to be the substance actually forms and you actually have a withdrawal from it.
Oh, sure. Well, but you know what? But check it out. Hang on. I'll say, and this will tie back to your original point here about sex addiction,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I don't believe in that.
Sex addiction.
Okay, that's not PG. The next thing out of my mouth.
Okay.
That's not PG.
My daughter's in the room.
Yeah, that's what made me stop.
I had to filter a lot of
I told
comments
you my
here.
younger daughter's a comedian. You know where to get some of it from.
So look, what I was going to say was that because my dad, and the relationship I had with my dad, one of the things that I've always had to struggle with in my life is an addiction to acceptance, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And
Come
so-
on.
That
No,
one
I-
too.
no,
Wow.
I
Just
Huh?
hit
Yeah, you got a strong I
That's
personality.
huge.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's it.
that's that I personality.
That is
Yes, it is that.
And
Oh,
so-
wow.
And so publicly there would be no judgment. I'm a people person, right?
I don't even like people, but I like making them happy.
But consequently, a lot of the time that expresses itself in my life in a way where I'm constantly trying to please or seek the approval of other people, and that in and of itself, again, it doesn't, whether it's a joint or whether it's the approval of some other woman in my life, it's no different.
I don't have that problem either.
No other women in your
So
I'm a D.
you're he's a D. Yes. So these
I wasn't talking about the woman.
addictions.
life? Come on, that was good.
That's true also.
So whether my buddy is an atheist here, whether it's a faith-based motivation or otherwise, just from a mental health, a physical health kind of means, sometimes our addictions express themselves in a way that socially is
Not
acceptable,
accepted.
or is not
not.
accepted, right? The addiction may be expressed in a way that is acceptable, right? But I mean, I had to learn like business. I'm on drive, go. And I told my wife the first 2 years of the first business that I launched, I'm like, you won't see me for the next 2 years. Right?
Been there,
I'm telling you.
You go in, you go
Right?
hard, you go
And-
ham.
Yeah, and
All in or no?
all in, right?
And
And
so
so
I didn't know what a hand was. I'm like,
there's
All
a
in. I'll show
point
you.
where, like, I've mentioned my daughter running the camera for me behind the scene here, being the awesome kid that she is, and my son at home. There's a point where I say, I will not sacrifice my family on the altar of success, right? That's a conscious decision because my addictive personality.
So you had to consciously.
that's
make
what
that.
we were talking about earlier when I said that I was a top salesman for a major HR payroll company, but I knew that my wife and kids wanted to come to Texas, so I left.
Yeah, same thing.
That's-
You have to
and
make a
that's-
decision
and
on
that's-
that point.
Along those same
Yeah.
lines.
You have to be conscious
it's-
though to
it-
be able to make that decision.
It's
Very
it's-
true.
And those people are caught up and they're so, I'm sorry to make
So
that.
there's different levels of addiction.
As long as I
see
get a
what you're
chance.
getting at, for sure.
Well, I mean, and I think it's really a cycle too, because, it's that big conversation about, what's going on in our society, and, what is or is not going on in the home, and you've got parents that are both, maybe a
Supportive or not.
two household income, and they're working, and we're trying to provide a better life for our family, whether it's our children or our extended family or whatever, and, just doing judging ourselves as, not that success is bad, I mean, we're all entrepreneurs here, but it's that cycle of, what we measure ourselves against, and what
Mhm.
society has created, and what's important, and what we value. And then you've got kids that are either latchkey kids, which I was one, and I survived. So you've just got this stuff that's going on the other side too. So I mean, it's a huge, they're all interwoven.
So I want to address a couple points real quick from the feed,
Sure.
and then we can jump back in. Leah Mills chimed in. She said D2 equals dopamine receptors. Brain imaging suggests that people with fewer D2 receptors are more likely to become addicted than those with many of the receptors. And how many of these receptors people have is, in part, genetically determined. That's so there's some
Wow.
What's
That's
the
something-
background?
that's something to think about.
Is that
for
something
sure.
somebody Googled, or is this like someone with a
She sounded
background
like
in
she
that?
had a
It sounds like she
background.
typed that out
So-
by herself. Yeah.
so
Serotonin.
Leah, by the way,
Feel good
Leah,
hormones.
Leah, chime in if you have a background in this field or not. Ken was
I was
asking.
just curious. I was
Yeah,
impressed.
just
I was
curious.
impressed by the comment. That was
It's a very
self-written
sharp. We
comment.
have a sharp audience.
We
What
do.
can I say?
We do.
Maybe not
Torian.
behind the camera, but
Torian asked a question here. Torian asked I know this is directed at me, and with my long-winded comment I was making. So, are you putting success above God? Let me tell you, Torian, he and I have had lengthy conversations about that very point. So, God has a great way of humbling you, right? Just when you think you've got it all going on. So, I reached a point about 2 years ago where I had a very healthy 6-figure income, and everything was coasting along great in the Orsac household, income-wise. In many respects, life was good. And then the last year, financially, has been the most challenging year of my life for at least a decade, right? And the stress level, again, now being really transparent, the stress level, I had been through, I own a credit improvement business, and I've been on all sides of credit. Great credit, terrible credit, you name it, right? I'm an entrepreneur. But I got my credit up to high 700s, 790s, and I'm like, I have arrived. And then the mess is hitting the fan financially. And I'm, in essence, using this credit to pay that credit,
Right.
and back and forth. And I am working my tail off doing all the things that I know work. I mean, they're all what all the books say. I'm doing the right stuff, but no results. And it's down to the first time that I was going to miss a payment in many years. And I was absolutely a basket case. And laying in my bed, God and I had this conversation again about, so, that credit score, is it the source of your peace? And that really rocked my world.
I can actually comment on this one too. So, being an atheist, I do have struggles with believing. I grew up in a Christian home.
It's all good.
Very, very Christian home. Sunday school, Wednesday school, potluck lunch, all of it, the whole
Church.
nine, right?
That'll make,
Church.
that'll make an atheist out of a lot of people.
Very tight knit community. And so I have my struggles, and when I do pray, and sometimes I do, I start a prayer and then I stop, and then I go back and I finish my prayer with, "Let your will be done."
So-
and that's the only
so wait.
prayer I come down to.
Are you an atheist, or you just don't like organized religion? It sounds to me
That's
like
true.
you're not an atheist.
Like I said, I go back and forth. I've just seen so much pain in the world that it's hard to believe that someone's directing that, allowed to do that.
That's-
Like someone lets that happen. Like, that's fucked up. I'm sorry, but like, PG.
Well,
Sorry,
you got
PG.
yeah.
Is there a
So
time
I
delay
guess-
on this
so
thing?
I-
No,
Can
no.
you do a
So I guess
7-second
you
time
said-
delay?
if I give you the anyway, okay. Now that the whole religious spirituality thing, we have to start that one. We have to give that one its own segment, because that
Right,
one is
that's
that is so deep. Because what you just said is prayer, like. So you are already in a different class of atheism.
Mm-hmm.
Atheism.
Atheism.
And you're in a whole different class right there.
They're
because
still
there's some-
deciding what those are right
Yeah,
now.
so-
They don't know what it is.
So gosh, I had a whole other point that I was going to make, and now you took me there.
Which is
Because
interesting how
let me
the
come.
labels we put on things.
We
Yeah.
have to
Whole other
label it so that we can
conversation.
have a way to judge you
Yeah,
and to
so-
determine what you are and where you belong.
It's a no label show.
And it's
Yeah.
a no labeling show. I love you regardless. I would.
When
I
you do have the segment on this, make sure that Chris Webb is in here.
Okay.
Remember
So
Chris
and make sure
Webb?
Cindy G is in here. And so
Chris. I want to be
so-
on it.
So let's. I'm taking over.
So while you're
While
looking for that, I'm going to finish addressing
Yes.
Torian's
Okay.
point, which I got on to chime about. Torian, I think with the whole God thing, the always there's a verse that says it's impossible to please God without faith. And so what I found in my own walk with God is that as soon as I get to a comfortable spot, that's going to get shaken up, right? Because at the end of the day, God doesn't have a problem with money.
You're
I
gonna
mean,
sell
like,
yourself, too.
if you look at the wealthiest people in Scripture, like Abraham had 300 servants and land as far as the eye could see. I don't care what time period you live in. That's wealth,
That was
right?
before Jesus.
Right? Oh, yeah, I'm familiar.
Well, I'm a
And
red
your
letter
point
Christian
is,
myself.
That's all right.
do you think
I'm
Jesus
just,
was broke or something?
No, I'm
Right.
saying that the old laws, the old beliefs became a new covenant after Jesus.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
not
they did.
arguing,
They
I'm
did.
not arguing your point,
Yeah.
but
Right,
so
right.
being
So-
a red letter Christian
That's
myself,
fine, that's
like
fine.
when people reference the Old Testament, I always make a point to say that's old.
Okay,
But go
well,
ahead.
I see your point
I-
there, 'cause
to me,
sometimes
God's
it's hard for me to
unchanging.
differentiate.
to me, God's unchanging. So
It's good for wisdom and but anyway, sorry, go ahead.
For me, God's unchanging. He is, was, and always will be, and he's unchanging. So he's the God of the Old Testament is the God of the New Testament to me.
Yes.
But nevertheless, anyway, my point
A
is
whole nother show.
right. Hold on a second. My point is that God doesn't have a problem with wealth. Humans have a problem with wealth, right? And so Torian asked the question, the perfect question, at least as far as my conversation prior was, are you putting your success above God? Right. And that goes back to the whole thing about addiction,
Right.
right?
Right.
And that's why I said I may have an addiction that society looks at and goes, man, Joe's on it.
Yeah.
He's
yeah,
driven.
sure.
He's successful.
I wanna be like
etc.
Joe.
I want to be like Joe. And God's going, no, you don't want to be like Joe.
Right.
And
Joe-
he may not even be saying it to them, but he's definitely gonna
Right,
tap
right,
you.
right. He's saying, look, man, Joe's addiction may be socially acceptable, but it's no more acceptable to me than a drug addiction. Right? There's no difference. None.
Jesus
Right.
drank wine.
Right? Look, I tell you, Jesus had no problem with wine.
Jesus turned
Wine
water
is
to
not
wine.
the issue. It's
Exactly.
It's
It's-
what we do with it after we have drank 9 bottles.
Right.
We want to go mess with everybody that we
yeah.
can, and we're going to go get everybody. Like,
Right.
and I mean
It's
get.
very true. Yeah, it's very true.
I
It's
mean,
very
get
true.
like
Is that
tonight.
true? Is that true?
I want to
It's
get all.
successful. This is the guy. This is the. Oh,
So-
he poured it for her.
That's
I was like, this is the guy that
That's my
doesn't.
second glass. That is my second glass.
This is the beer guy who doesn't drink wine.
I'm
I was like,
addicted. I'll tell you, I'm addicted to. I've been addicted to grinding. To the grind. I'm addicted to winning. I'm addicted to
I'm addicted to pain.
just
Still,
like,
to this day, I love pain.
you love pain. I'm addicted
Emotional
to competition.
Anything.
And
you know?
and what
Really do, I
happens
like
with
it.
that is you never arrive, because all my life,
Never
growing
arrive.
up, also in the home of an alcoholic father, I'm becoming a little clean, exposing myself a little bit here, and
Slow down on the line there, dude.
that everything was great in terms of material things. My dad owned a skating rink, so I grew up skating. And as a 5-year-old who can skate and turn and skate backwards and do all these tricks and on skates, I had no friends because
You skated.
God, it's like
I played soccer.
you think you think you're all that. I mean, if you're dad on the skating rink, you will know how to skate. I mean,
Yeah.
wait, really? So I grew up trying to buy friends and became addicted to being everybody's everything. Like I can make you like me if I play basketball good. I can make you like me if I'm the best cheerleader. I can make you like me if I can sing and dance good. And I became I just
My
had to,
ex-fiance, Art.
Girls,
I started
listen.
art.
yeah. So and what happens is
Please.
that addiction. It's not
Bye, girls.
always great. I mean, you can rise to success. I went out and pursued a career in Hollywood and was a national recording artist with a major record label and was
driven,
and
successful.
What
you
kind,
know,
what kind of music?
R&B, hip hop, and was part of a '90s girls group. The
Swedish-
Truth, y'all.
Swedish
Shameless
folk
drop.
music.
THATRUTH. Okay, go on YouTube. The videos are still out there.
They are.
He's not.
They're going nowhere now.
So we're going back on tour. We're going back to shameless plug. I'm getting the group back together. I'm addicted.
Joe can play for you.
Yeah, exactly. Addiction. We're addicted to being everything. Are we overachievers?
It's so
You're an
true.
overachiever. You're an overachiever.
I know.
You are an overachiever. I'm an
The only issue I
overachiever.
have with your, if I can, because we
Are
have
you
yet to
freaking
disagree,
kidding me?
okay?
He's got 84 certifications.
Wait, can I?
I'm out.
Please,
Dude,
can I?
You got me beat. I only
Ken
have
wants
like,
to disagree.
I only have
We're
4
gonna
degrees.
We have
I only
yet
have
to
4 college
disagree
degrees.
on
You
this
got me beat.
show, right? We have yet to disagree on the show yet.
Which is okay.
And I disagree
What?
on I think that addiction is an overused word, okay? I think alcoholism has different definitions to different people and is a very broad brush.
There's a medical
to people that
definition for it, though.
I know there are,
Yeah.
I know there is, but to people that have been close to me recently, alcoholism is 3 beers over
Right.
over
Right.
9 hours,
Right,
or 12 beers over a football Sunday. Okay, and yeah, that's a lot to drink, but if it's from noon to the last
It
game
depends what
Sunday
you do
night,
with it.
right? And
Like we said before.
so
You
anyway,
drink 12 beers
I
and
think
go to
it's-
bed, and everything's
I
fine.
don't think that addiction to your business, that's not addiction. I think that's just me, that's the way that I think. And that's, a good thing. I just
Well,
don't
when
know.
it starts to
We're-
disrupt your
Right,
life and your
that's where,
family and
yeah.
it harms those
If-
around you,
I do
and
agree
when
with
it when
that,
it
yes.
when it starts to weigh on your own physical capabilities, like
Right.
you're so
You're
addicted to the
putting
grind. That's
other
me.
things
I
that
was
should be
doing
more
so
important
like
aside
health,
for that.
for
Yes,
example, like
yes.
doing
I agree with that.
everything and going so hard in the paint, so they
Ooh.
say,
Yeah,
just
hard
grinding,
paint.
grinding, and now I'm nearly dead. I
go-
still look good on the
I
outside, but
stayed
I'm
for
nearly
2 days
dead.
working on
Yes, you
stuff.
Really? Because I didn't take care of the temple of the vehicle that God gave me to go out and make a difference and
30
live
years
in
old,
purpose.
my sister's starting to
All right,
fall
so we
apart.
got-
I'm glad you made that distinction, because I do agree with that, but I just
Yeah,
think
so
if
we
you're
have to
working,
just have it
if
in
you're working hard at
perspective.
something,
No,
or if
working
you're a
hard
soccer
is-
player and you're improving your game, which
No,
I was,
I
do
got
that.
told, I got
Do
told
that.
when I was,
Yeah,
when
that's
I
not
was
addiction.
15, if I
Yeah.
continued playing soccer, my knee would give out by the time I was 40.
yeah, that's why I quit too.
I
My knees.
And what
continued
did you
playing
do?
soccer.
And did your knee give out?
I'm almost 40.
And your knee didn't give out?
You
Yeah.
play,
I have a
you
lot
play
of
indoor
You have a lot
or
of
outdoor?
problems
So,
But
The
a
indoor
bunch of
killed
good
my knees.
comments. I'm going to chime in real
That
quick
was really
here.
good, though.
that was pretty good too.
Going not back,
Maybe we
not
should-
too far. He said many atheists have arrived at that belief system
Torian.
based on the same reasoning just illustrated, what you were talking about.
Yeah.
It is a judgment of God, and since God doesn't measure up to their image of what He is supposed to be, then they choose not to believe in Him. It's the finite judging the infinite. So, interesting spin.
No, that's a
right?
great point. I love that point.
Um,
I do. Go ahead.
So to keep going, and we may come back and address these, but I always like to try to chime in on good comments. What is more important, man's measure of success or God's success plan for them? So that's back to what I was talking about.
My brother would really like
Torian,
to talk about that because he's the opposite of me. Very, very religious and not addicted to anything except for religion.
There's another, but it can be another addiction. You're right.
Torian said, I had
Send
to
him to
I had to
jail
pour
one
me a
time.
glass of wine, this is deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Torian
Torian
That's
said,
why my glass is empty.
Listen to this, and this is a great comment
Yes.
from Torian. He said, I believe in the grind so much that I lost my first wife. I had to learn balance.
Thank you,
I lost
Torian.
my fiance
Yes.
from the
Thank you for
grind.
sharing.
The
And-
grind.
The grind.
And
I was trying to get
Torian,
away
thank you for
from
being
it.
honest, man, and posting that. That's a great comment.
That's great.
It is very much about balance, right? It is very much about
My
balance.
whole body's about balance, and you look at my tattoos, you will know it.
Leah Mills again chimed in. She said several cousins on my paternal side began to quote compare notes with regard to observed addiction tendencies. I have a background in healthcare and Googled my way to the D2 connection.
Years ago.
Yes, some years ago. These
Oh,
D2,
some years ago.
These D2 receptor deficient folks likely account for a majority of the adrenaline junkies and are more difficult to, quote, put under with anesthesia.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They're too wired.
Interesting
Too wired
thing.
to turn up.
Well, you know
Right.
what? I've been on Adderall since I was 20 years old.
Really?
10 years now. I got you. I'm just kidding.
That's a whole other topic.
I missed it.
Well,
okay.
it's just,
So I
that's
wanna
a
tie
prescribed
into
addiction for me.
something
That's
that-
what that is. It's a prescribed addiction.
It's a prescribed addiction. Yeah.
You know, and not to say that I do go without. I do have to wean myself off because
What do you say?
of my
Adderall.
Adderall.
Oh,
Yeah,
I had
but-
the
He's an
same.
addict.
I had the problem with Xanax.
Oh, I got that too.
I'm off of
you
it,
just-
but yeah.
You just paramedic.
Paramedic, yeah.
I
Literally.
know.
So
Know how
that's
to
a
get
topic for
everything.
another, yeah.
Torian
Yes,
said the Army was
but-
everything that nobody could tell me.
Yes, exactly.
And the Army was
right.
everything that
I've had
nobody could
many
tell me
buddies tell me that.
anything. What does the awards and promotions equal when I have chased everyone away? I learned balance. Congratulations, Torian.
Thank
This
you.
is
Balance.
good.
I will tell
Appreciate
you,
that.
Oh my
Torian,
God.
I will tell you, my friend, as you have challenged me on a couple points with great observations and questions, I will tell you the same thing, that you will say you have learned balance, and it will come up routinely throughout your life in new little ways, and maybe they're smaller. Maybe it's not like I lost my wife type thing, but smaller ways.
Can we
And
please
it's,
stop talking about that?
as you learn to,
I'll get you another bottle, bud.
Yeah.
as you learn to analyze yourself and examine your life, as God kind of knocks on your door on a regular basis and reminds you, hey, are you in balance here? I'm just telling you, it's going to happen. Mark my words for it. It'll be something that you examine the rest of your life.
Me and you should have a God talk.
We should.
Outside of this.
Yeah.
So I have something really heavy. So that ties in the addiction conversation with the human trafficking conversation.
Oh.
So I have a client and
This is like the heavy
and I
topic
won't-
show.
and I won't do
Holy
that.
cow.
I was trying to throw some jokes in there, but
So I have a client who is actually an executive director of a nonprofit out of Florida, and they raise awareness for human trafficking. So they have a training program, they do some different things, and
For or against?
oh, come on, that's not even funny at all, man.
I laughed. I'm
I
sorry.
just lost one viewer in my comment
Just wait.
Oh my God! I'm like talking about going Batman on people that are like human.
just wait, because I want to get her on your show.
Right.
Is this the contact you're talking about that
Yes.
you want to put together?
Yeah,
It's
and she was sharing with me that there, I don't know the statistics, but
That's really
the
terrible. I know.
statistics are high. Listen to this. The statistics
This
are
town.
high.
This town.
Yes, Houston is the
freaking capital for
Texas
it.
is unfortunately the third of the nation with equal with Florida and California for human trafficking, and Houston is fourth in the nation. So we do have a problem.
I knew that.
And the thing where addiction comes in is that there's a high percentage of children that are trafficked into the sex trades, because that's what it really is. Human trafficking is mostly, it's sex trafficking. And there's a high
Promoted by
percentage of
porn.
them that are runaways, and they're typically runaways because there is some kind of addiction at home,
And
or even
they won't
homeless.
be accepted
Or there's their own addiction. So I just wanted to put that out there that we really do
That's
have.
a huge point.
Those are big things.
That's
that
what
we
drives
have.
people away. Because,
Yeah.
you know, my family's broken up by addiction. I mean, that's one of the major reasons family gets broken up.
Yeah.
And so
It's freaking hard.
it-
It's hard
it
to
is
deal
not-
with.
It is not an easy thing. I mean, multiple people in my family have been through it, and we are as tight as ever because of it. Because you have to go through the diversity, the hurdles just to become closer. But I love that. That's one of the main causes. If you can't accept that, oh my gosh, one of my family members is addicted to something and they need my help, and you drive them away because of the addiction,
They become vulnerable.
they become they're alone.
Yeah.
You know, the
Well,
thing
alone.
is, I will tell you, as
Especially
a
young
child
age.
with an addicted parent, you feel helpless.
You do.
You don't know what to do. You don't know what to say, and you're human.
You hide.
You're human.
Yeah.
Like you're breaking my heart, and I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Now I'm getting emotional, right? Like
Especially when you're young, though. Especially when you're young, you don't know what to do.
especially don't when you're young,
Yeah.
Here, use my
right?
The crying shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
When-
I was going to
when
ask
you-
Hanky earlier.
When you have a family member that you don't know 1 minute to the next if they're going to hit you or belittle you or blame everything in the world that's wrong in their life on you or whatever else, you don't know what to say or what to do. And emotionally, it becomes a lot easier just to say, "Get the hell out of my life,"
I knew what to do.
Pent it up.
I hit
and
that.
don't know
or
what
I'm
to do
gonna
with it.
I'm gonna physically beat the crap out of
Or
you.
you're
Yes.
gonna pin it up and find an escape.
Right.
That's the problem. Now therein lies the problem. And that is what is not being addressed. We go so many years with these pent up issues,
This is something I'm
emotions,
working on right now. is
unresolved,
Not
abusive.
staying inside me.
It's too
And
much,
verbalizing.
and it's got so you've got people that are grown men, 50 years old, that are running through women that are in the same circle, and it's like an addiction.
It is.
What the hell is that? Why does that happen?
Comfortability.
I'm not familiar with
They're
that.
scared to change. They're easy.
It's-
It's already day to day. It's the same shit. Same thing. I get to do the same thing every day. I gotta worry about it. Been
Because
there.
they get away with it,
Been there.
because
Wake
people,
up, take an acid, same day.
and go do what and whoever you choose
Do what I wanna do.
because you're that guy.
Because I can.
He's not 50 yet, though. I know
You
that.
know,
Well-
I've been out. I've been a womanizer, and I have not. You know, I'm definitely not there anymore. I'm looking to settle down now. I got a girlfriend, all that kind of stuff.
You
But
look down when you
So
said that.
so why then do okay? So we're talking about addictions because we're still on addiction, John. Don't
Yeah.
think we're going, but this is all addiction because you've got people that are addicted to running through situations like
people
you're
are
talking
addicted
about.
to running.
But people are
Actually
addicted to.
running.
But
Because
what about
it's-
when,
That's also an
when you're in the
endorsement.
same circle and everybody knows each other, like soap opera?
Yeah.
Is there addiction to be
big
able to say
drama.
I got him too or I did her
Big
too or what?
drama. Oh yeah.
Just like young in the
Yeah, to know, to be the people you want to talk to. Because I got information.
Some great
You see what I'm
Some
saying,
great
though?
comments.
I got info.
Look,
I don't know if it's addiction.
I got info. I want
think
attention.
I think it's
the
looking for
attention.
love and acceptance
That's
and
true,
trying
too.
to find
But
it
you can be
in a
addicted
place
to love
that
and
you
acceptance
yes.
as well.
And see,
addicted
that's
to
also
loving
trying
it.
to
I
find
love
it
that.
in areas that you never had it. Maybe you didn't have it at home, or you did have it at home.
Something
but
is
you think
missing.
There's something
to
missing.
define that, though, I mean, because everybody wants love and addiction. Or love and
Love and addiction. Everybody wants love and
Love
addiction.
I was gonna
acceptance.
say it's
Love
like
and
it's like
acceptance
water and air. I mean,
Well, look.
I don't consider sex to be
look,
an
look.
addiction myself.
In a healthy environment,
Right. As
in
long
a-
as it's not pulling you
listen,
away
listen. In a healthy environment, we were meant to have the love of our parents, right? We were made for that, right? Absolutely, to have the love of our parents. So when that's not there, right? When a dad is out of the picture, when a
Right.
mom is out of the picture, when a dad is abusive, or
Or
alcoholic,
absolutely.
whatever, now come the isms,
The void.
right?
And then
So it
hangs-
starts expressing itself in all kind of horrible behaviors, right? I have to be conscious of it
I
all the
disagree,
time.
but you'll
I'm
never-
absolutely addicted to the approval and acceptance of other people.
But
Because
you'll-
I never had it from my dad.
But you'll never touch your kids, will you?
No.
No, it's
Hell
not
no.
about.
Okay,
It's
so
not.
there's positives.
I got one in the room,
It's
she
not
can
about-
vouch.
Right. You know what I'm
So,
saying?
Wow.
addicted to-
So look at the other side of it.
Sure.
Chin up.
Positives have come,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
good
you
stuff.
know,
There's good
uh,
stuff that comes out of it.
I mean,
University
listen.
comes
I tell
greatest.
a story where I said there was a period of time. My daughter, who's in the room, she's probably too young to remember, but maybe where there was a period of time where I would come home, I'd walk through the door and just be pissed off,
I've been
right?
there.
And everybody in the house would just like leave Joe alone for a while,
Yeah.
and he'll chill out, and
Yeah.
then we can talk to him and then interact, and he'll be okay,
Yeah.
right?
It's like in the morning.
And one day, I kind of had like an out of body experience almost. I pulled up in the driveway, and I'm in that frame of mind, and I asked myself, "What are you angry about?" I'm not joking.
No,
It was
that's a
like
great
it was
question.
like an out of body
Define
experience,
it.
and I started going back through my day, and I'm like, I have nothing to be angry about. I mean, like it was a normal day.
The guy
And I'm like-
the guy cut you off on the road though that one time.
Right. It's like, whatever.
Just messing with you. That's not a reason to get mad.
No, of course not. I was probably that guy. I can't be mad at that guy, right? So I'm going through this process, and I'm like, you know what? I realized all day long, I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. Most people who know me, I'm a pretty jovial, goofy ham. I mean, that's just me. I'm normally pretty happy, right? But I'd walk through the freaking door, upset, pissed off. And I realized I had this moment where I snapped. That's how dads walk through the door.
in your history. Yeah.
And that's what
That's
you're
so
accustomed
That was
to.
just my.
Well, when I growing,
That was my blueprint.
I
So,
agree.
your
I agree.
background?
I agree. We could in my home growing
you
up,
saw
Joe.
it
We could be
100,000
my mom,
times.
my brother, and I. We could be having the best time of our life, jumping off the ceilings and just having a great time. The moment we hear those keys jingling, and
Everybody's on edge.
Right back
the
into your
car
spot.
door, and we're like, everybody's
Right
like,
back into your
because
spot.
we're first of all, hopefully he's gonna walk in sober. Hopefully this is the night that he walks
Right.
in sober.
That's rough.
Highly unlikely,
Yeah.
but maybe this is the night. And I know we got to get to some of these comments.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we got some great
got some
comments.
Yeah, so we're
Um,
gonna get back to
thank
the
you for your
addicted
comments.
because all of this ties in
Yeah, do
together.
a part
We're
two
getting
of this
somewhere.
It's
Yeah,
good
do
stuff.
it.
We're
I
getting
know.
somewhere. So
And this is the first not political show, and I gotta say I love it.
And
I like
seamless
talking.
plug.
I
like
wore the
talking.
wrong shirt.
Right?
Seamless plug. This
Next
is
time I'll
also
bring my sex shirt.
the first time that everybody here is part of the Whine gang. I don't know if you said that
Ah,
earlier.
yeah,
we're
we
all
did.
Whine, we're all
Oh, yeah.
Houston
And
Whine
this,
It's
gang.
empty,
cheers,
but cheers
it's
to
empty.
that.
Cheers.
Whine gang, Whine gang.
Not even intentional, but everybody
all
on the
part of a
show
wine
is
game and
part
out
of
of
the.
wine.
I know, part of the wine game.
All right.
So to address some of the comments, we got some great comments. David chimed in. He said he absolutely agrees. The Democrats, Republicans, and Big Pharma are all addicted to an addicted society.
Oh my
completely
gosh,
agree with
yes.
that. Oh man,
Yes.
great point.
Like
Steve said to Torian. Now we have like
People
comment
interacting with each
feeds
other.
addressing other people on the
Post,
comment
everybody
feeds.
post. Let's hear from
Nice. Steve said to Torian, Torian and I have something in common. We put our service to the country in a place where it is a positive experience, one that if we had the chance, we may influence. It's a long comment. Here we go. If we have the chance, we may influence someone to consider taking up that challenge. It can be an addiction. It can be attractive in and of itself. Many try to destroy that calling, and that's unfortunate. He's talking about his military service. Steve and Torian both have military services. So
Yep.
there's our plug for the military.
Thank you.
All right. David chiming in. Appreciate you all. I just had to share this because it was a great comment. Appreciate you all. Great panel. Very good discussion, including those who contributed on the feed. God bless you all. Have a great week. God bless you all, and I will see you next week. Sorry. David's going to be on the show next week.
Great.
Rebecca, addicted to lying.
Ooh, that's a good one. I had a buddy like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Addicted to
I
being
grew up
the
with him.
man.
Yeah.
Power.
Power.
Tanisha says that's
That's
power.
the power. That's
Yeah.
power, right?
I
Something's
think that's
definitely missing.
really
Something's definitely
vulnerable.
missing. Okay, so addicted to lying.
I love that.
That's very vulnerable for sharing that, because that's,
But you know, and well,
I mean, I had a cousin that was,
Did they say
Is that
that they were
mental
addicted to
illness,
lying?
though?
Did
a
the-
chronic, I mean, I had a cousin that was
person in
a
the
chronic
comment,
liar,
are they
you
saying
knew that
they
they
were
I think they're
like,
saying that the
never trust what they
person-
said. But
Yeah.
Well, that same person chimed in and said, I mentioned power because it can be wielded and used as a drug. Same person chimed in to clarify their point.
Testosterone.
Too
Yeah.
often, the ism behaviors are accepted. That's
Ooh.
Rebecca.
Hey,
What's-
all
what's
that
an
rap
what's an-
music.
What's an example of an
Yeah, let me
behavior?
clarify, because Rebecca may not have been speaking of herself, so, I mean,
I don't think she was.
it's an awareness of noticing that that's a habit with someone else,
Yep.
but also too, if you personally, if that's something that you're doing yourself, it's also a good awareness around that you're doing that, and figuring
So,
out what's going on behind it.
two
So you
last
figure out how to
comments.
do it the right way.
Two last comments from our feed.
Really bad joke.
Diana Forsberg said, I love the concept of the show. Thank you, Diana.
Yes.
Share it, promote it. We're on a mission here to save America, one civil conversation at a time. People with differing views coming together to discuss tough stuff. And this
Yeah.
show has been discussing tough stuff.
And you're going to meet
Uh,
Diana Forsberg. Shameless plug. Diana Forsberg is the one who hosted the big wine party in Dallas after the 4-day event of the conference that we were at. So if you saw
Oh.
any of the if you saw any of the live feeds, any of the videos or the pictures,
I
big
did.
shout out to Diana Forsberg. You are amazing. You did a phenomenal job. Thank you so much. We love
Shameless
you.
plug for the wine gang there.
Hey.
Diana, look forward to meeting you.
Me as well one day.
Daryl said this. Daryl, this is a heavy comment. Daryl said, growing up in an abusive home and an alcoholic father who died when I was 9 years old, I found myself as a protector of women.
Wow,
Daryl.
He's one of a kind, man.
I will tell you,
I'm
Daryl.
right there with
One
that.
or the other. It's where you came back to that.
I will tell you,
In the
Daryl.
other room.
We had this conversation prior to the show, so you wouldn't have been privy to this part of the conversation, but we talked about that there's one of two directions that children of abusive parents go, right? A destructive route or the savior route. And what you're
I did
describing...
both. I did. I became a paramedic.
Knock them all out, right?
I destructed myself and saved everybody else.
And this is about saving other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Savior mode is that you feel compelled to try to
Fix
save
everything.
people, to fix everything.
To fix
Right.
English.
And so it can take
Fix it.
it can manifest itself in a way that you're trying to keep everybody else from those same kind of harms. And that can be a positive thing, but you can also find yourself in an addictive nature,
Where you're suffering
repeating
from
the
that.
addiction of the parent that you saw, repeating that addictive modeling personality, but just in a way that society looks at and thinks is better. But you're no better off mentally as far as your balance and your own internal peace goes.
Right.
Right.
So they're suffering.
Right.
I mean,
so there you go. So they're suffering. Still, you're still suffering. You're suffering with an addiction because at the end of the day, you can't save people. You can't save everybody. They're all saying you can lead a horse to
I'll tell you
water,
that-
but you can't make them drink.
I'll tell you
right?
how much CPR
and
works.
so, right.
10% of the time.
Right.
Can't save them all.
Your show just pivoted from a political show to a psychological show.
It's not because there's
it's always
shifts.
been
I'm
that.
not saying it's a bad thing.
Yeah,
It's
there's
always
saying-
been that, but unfortunately, it's only been political up to this point.
Exactly. We
Political
don't
last
deal
couple
with the
years.
I'm not saying it's
mindset.
bad.
We don't deal with the psychology of
Yeah.
people. We never get to the bottom of it
It's a whole
because we
mental
never get to the
illness
bottom of
issue in
it.
the country.
The whole,
Personally,
the
I
whole
love
country
this.
is mentally ill. Like we start off with, and I say that because, first of all, how can we? Oh gosh, this is we don't have time. We don't even have time.
You
Lord.
opened a whole new
I got
can
one.
of
Yeah,
worms
we
over
gotta,
there.
we gotta
My
get a
daughter
We're gonna have a
Taylor.
special 3-hour segment.
Right.
We can
Something
have-
that my daughter.
So I was gonna say, we can do some shout outs at the end here. I was gonna say, this is a great point to wrap up the show because we're an hour 15 in.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Time flies.
And that is the nature of the show. I started off saying it was an hour show. It's been impossible to keep it in an hour. Like, from the beginning, I think every single show has went over, right?
Too much
Hour
fun.
15,
Good
hour
stuff.
30.
Thanks for tuning
Doesn't
in.
matter. We just talk about stuff and we're being real on this show. So if you're tuned in right now, I plead with you to be a supporter of the show. I don't make a freaking penny off this, right?
Yet.
This is yet.
Not yet.
We'll monetize it somehow.
Yeah.
At some point, it's coming.
I have an idea.
But that's not the focus. It's
We
not
got wine.
the focus.
The money coming.
The focus is to save America. I think. Save your complex. Save your complex. Right. America needs healing, and that's going to happen through dialogue. We have these differing views, and like Ken said very astutely at the beginning of the show, about how we've become this very dynamically separated red, blue, and polarized. The
That
only way, in my opinion, the only way to fix that is for us to start talking to each other and trying to understand where the other side's coming from.
Bridge across the aisle.
Right?
That's
Right.
exactly
Absolutely.
right.
We may not agree. We don't have to agree. That's okay.
We're all
Nobody's
Americans,
going to
right?
die from that. But if I try to understand where you're coming from, I can have empathy for your situation, and we can find solutions that at least have more common ground. That's the goal. That's what the show's about. That's the whole philosophy of the show. It doesn't matter whether we're talking
Put it into
politics,
your
whether we're
everyday
talking
life.
addictions and whatever else. We're all over the place. But that's the same philosophy through every show. That's what you're going to see. And right now, this is all grassroots. So I'm asking everybody who tunes in and watches, share this, like it, become an advocate for the show, and you'll be a grape head. That's what we
I think I might be now.
You're converted. Hey, you're a believer now.
That's
I was
right.
drinking stouts before. I'm like, I don't know.
Garnacha! You look like a garnacha kind of guy. I'm
It
just saying.
feels right for me to say. Like,
That's a beautiful thing. So that's my stumping speech for the show here. We're gonna wrap up. I think Ken, you had a point. If you wanted to chime in on, but if
Ken's
not-
got lots of points.
Yeah, I did.
But we're wrapping up the show.
I haven't been on. No. I got a point, and then you said that like a plug at the end or something.
Sure.
Okay. So the point I was going to make
There are no
on,
rules.
on mental illness that my daughter Taylor taught me this. She sent me a meme, and if we treated mental illness,
like addiction.
if we treated regular illnesses and injuries like we treat mental
Yeah.
illness,
And vice
I've
versa.
heard that one.
then you'd be laying in bed with blood coming out of your arm saying, "Get up and do something," or you'd be you're not accomplishing anything just laying there. People with depression or anxiety or other mental illnesses. If we treated regular illnesses like mental illnesses being treated, you would just be talking down to people and telling them there's something wrong with them instead of trying to help heal them.
Well, that's kind of how we do
And-
it.
and-
It
That's
should
kind
be
of how
that.
it kind of
It
is how
is,
it's
no,
treated. Mental
Yes,
illness is
that
treated.
is, and that was her
How
whole.
did
that
I
was the whole
start
thing. She
Adderall?
sent
The
it
guy
to me.
goes, "You got ADD, dude."
And how's that
Yeah,
working?
you
Take
haven't
a pill.
discussed anything. You haven't gotten to the
Yeah.
root of anything.
Not
So
a
therefore,
pole.
just like with medicine, just like with pathology, just like with disease and chronic illness, there is no healing with the Western system. we have to get, just like with
No,
mental
no
illness,
curing.
we're no. I
No
will
curing.
there's no
It's
curing. There's no
becoming
healing. You
another
can't. You better
patron
not
of a
even say
business.
cure. They're not.
No.
That's not
I
the
gotta
phrase.
say that I was cured from my depression with really, not a lot of Lexapro, but Lexapro helped me. And I'm off of the Lexapro, I'm off of the Xanax, I have no ongoing issues from either of them. They helped me through a very rough time, and they did cure me.
There is
I think.
use.
There's another-
I'm not cured from
Yeah, there
depression
is
yet.
use.
So there's another show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another show.
So my plug. And
No,
then-
that's
or
good.
should
Because we
start
need
the
to. Because
ladies
we
on
have to
the
talk
plugs?
about the. We have to talk about. We have to get into that on another show.
Yeah.
We do. That's a
We need a
topic.
part
That is
two
a
of
hot
this.
topic.
There you go.
Let's do part two
What,
one day.
Yeah.
you go this way on the plugs, the way we started?
We go back
No
reverse,
rules, man.
You
No
wanna
rules.
reverse it?
We get
Okay.
popcorn.
Stop in,
this
stop
thing.
Jump
in.
in.
This show is in the Humble, Atascocita, Kingwood area, and I live on the other side of town. I'm going out to dinner here. I have some friends in the area and some people that I haven't seen in a long time in the area, so I'm going to go out to dinner after this show. If you'd like to hang out with me, I'd love to renew some old friendships and make some new friends. I gave you my Facebook page earlier. That's kind of the central place.
Pancakes and
That's
bacon, man.
That's a lot. That's a lot of Uber dollars on that one, dude.
That's true. No, that is a
So
lot of
hit me
Uber
up
dollars.
on facebook.com/thetexasrealtors.com is kind of the central way. Obviously, I'm not going to give my phone number out on.
Oh, come on.
How many viewers? Can you tell how many viewers? we
I
have?
put
Yeah,
my
we've
phone
had,
on all
Nine
day.
at the moment, but it's up and down.
What was the highest it got?
Oh, it's gotten up to 14 constant. It's been steady between 9 and 14, but we've had almost 500 views.
Oh,
Woohoo!
that's a little lower.
Oh,
than
this is
last
right. Why?
No, it's right about the same. Actually, it's right about the same.
A lot of people watch it after.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
okay.
it stays on
Yeah,
there as
by
a
the
video.
end of the show, 500 is where we're at now, and that's very consistent. So by the end of next week, will be about 1,000. So very solid.
Great.
So any other
Next
last
plug?
minute things we want to toss in?
I just want to say thank you for inviting me on the Whine No Whine show. I'm a big proponent of taking action and making choices. We all have a choice, no matter what life throws at us. And I have an issue with being a victim versus. I choose to be a victor versus a victim. So that's just
We
kind
call
of
it
my
being
plug
about it.
of who, yeah.
You're doing what you say.
And
Yeah.
I believe we have a choice. And if you're watching and you feel like, what can I do to make an impact on anything? It just starts with just doing the next thing,
Yeah.
and coming
sure.
together like this. So thank you for your vision to put this
Yeah.
together, and the wine and the
I really didn't
invitation to
think
be
I was
part of the
gonna
wine
fit in
club.
here.
I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Got
You
it.
fit in
You're
awesome.
gonna
I
have a
did
blast.
though. I love this. Like, I did.
Awesome.
Don't hurt your arm patting
No,
yourself.
I love it. I really was like, I'm gonna go in here and be kind of the odd man out. 'Cause
Ah,
I mean,
see, you fit in.
I
so
don't know.
well.
That's such a
Some of
good
the
time.
panel last
So
week,
well.
you would have been.
oh.
You never know.
No, I
No,
did
no,
watch.
you're
It was
saying.
political. I don't care.
My first show,
This is
I
the
came
book.
on, and it was like terrorists, and I was like, my whole energy just went. Oh, man. I was
Yeah.
like,
If we wouldn't
so I just got
politics,
drunk and
yeah.
just dealt with it.
Shit,
So
we
because I
need,
couldn't,
we need at least 2 more of those.
because I had nothing to say on the topic, I just listen. Keep it
There's
coming.
at least there's
You
wine.
know what? That is a true show. I want to thank you for inviting me back to the show. Actually, I invited myself back. Thank you for letting me invite myself back to the show.
I let her think she had, I let her invite herself
Oh,
back.
okay. Well,
She needs
thank
that
you.
power. She
Yeah, I
needs
need that power. I'm addicted to power.
She's coming on regularly. Who are we kidding?
Yes, I'll be back.
Yeah,
But
great job on
what
starting
I
the show,
love
yeah.
about this show is that no matter what the topic is, we all fit in because we're all
Yes.
living in the system
Yes.
and the constructs
I
that
love
the
that.
powers there be have
We're all
placed
affected
upon
by
us.
these things.
We are all affected by them. We do have a voice. We do have
an
something to say.
opinion,
It just
yeah.
takes a little
Pride.
Little
Pride.
little
Pride.
help,
Come on, say something.
Yeah,
Fearlessness.
little fearlessness. It takes
Liquid
getting into the
courage.
right energy.
Truth
It
serum.
takes getting little truth serum and get the juices flowing. And this is so amazing that we can all come. And this is my first time meeting you guys, and I feel like this conversation is just getting started.
Yes.
We have
Oh, yeah.
so many more bottles.
We're
to
probably
go
gonna
through.
So many more bottles to
I'm
go
gonna
through.
create a
I
group.
got
Yes.
30 cases
My
in the
shipment
lab.
comes in tomorrow. I'm like a kid on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
Look
like,
your post. Yeah,
I really
like-
didn't, I
Let's go
really
be
didn't
here
think I'd fit
tomorrow.
so much in. I didn't think I'd like this wine. I brought beer because
He
I
brought
didn't think-
beer.
I brought it.
He brought his own beer to the wine
I
show.
don't drink wine.
Did you
Yes, I
bring-
did.
All right.
So, actually, this wine club, I got into the wine club because I don't know how to buy wine. I buy wine, nobody likes it.
That's a good point.
Shoot. So my client, not to do the pitch about the wine club, but if I were to sign someone up, I haven't yet, it would be another guy like me.
Exactly.
It'd be a guy, hey, you don't
It's
have...
the
And that's
social-
freaking perfect.
Do you have a girlfriend?
want more
No?
like
Oh,
you.
do you want to impress a girl?
Yeah.
They like wine.
Now you're thinking. Now
$80 a
you're-
month, you got 2 bottles. You know, shit,
Thank
look at
And
you.
you walk into a-
Women love wine.
You walk into a
Women love
$40
Costco
bucks,
or
I don't know the
Specs, and you don't, if you walk into a Costco or Specs and you don't know wine, and,
That's it.
and
Those
even
aisles,
if,
I don't
even if
even
you
go
do know
in.
wine, that's the thing that's what appeals to
I
me
go
a lot about this.
yeah,
Is
I'm a beer guy. I
It's
go in the
shipping
beer aisle and do
random
that.
wines to you, and
With
it's
the
giving you
notes.
variety and
Yes.
things like that instead of
Yes.
walking in either always getting the same thing or
Exactly.
walking in and not knowing what to get. It's coming to you. I like that concept.
Absolutely.
Yes,
That's
Steve,
why I
that's what it
signed
must
up,
be.
because I don't know anything
Yes, I
about
do.
wine. I need
So-
good wine in my studio. That's exactly
Absolutely.
right.
So ask us about the wine club off the show if you want to know more about it. We're going to be at a wine tasting event tomorrow out in the Tomball area. It's free, doesn't cost a penny. You get to try and experience great wines from around the world. 4 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Inbox
So,
Joe or myself.
Yeah,
and we'll give you
PM
the
us. We'll get you the
You'll be out of
directions.
bed by then?
Well, you'll be out of bed by
I might
then.
still be awake.
Oh, dang.
Yes, that's your
Might still be
alarm.
awake.
Yeah.
Might still be
There you
awake
go.
from the
All
night.
nighter
Party
sounds
2
good to
days.
me.
Yeah,
that's right. Been there.
So hit us up on
DM.
private message if you want to get an invite to the private wine tasting that we're having tomorrow. Gonna be a lot of fun, right? Close out with final comments here. Torian said, "This is amazing. Thank you guys."
Thank
right?
you.
Shout out, that's to everybody. Tanisha said, "Great show." Gave a bunch of hand claps there, right?
Yes.
Steve, who has been on the show every show since the show started. Steve said, "It is interesting to be on the viewing side of this. It is the best 1 hour plus show ever."
Thanks,
Right.
Steve.
Right.
Love
So,
you, Steve. Miss you.
Just as a
Glad to be a
viewer,
part of it.
just as a viewer, he really enjoyed like listening to the comments of the guy, everybody on the
Yeah.
show, and that sort of thing. So that's cool. Daryl said, "I can understand that I can't save them all." I was talking to him earlier, right?
Oh yeah, I remember.
He said,
your
"But I can
comment.
stop the abuse when it is in front of me. It really does not matter if I know the person or not. I can let the abuse of the woman go down. I can't let the
Call me, I'll
abuse
be
of
right
the woman
behind
go
you."
down in my presence."
That's
I'm
true.
right
That's
behind
very
you, bro.
true.
No doubt, Daryl.
Hey,
No doubt.
Even of a man.
Right. I definitely wasn't trying to dissuade you in the healthy savior mode that you're operating in. Right.
That's just being a dad.
Right. That's
Being a
like
good person.
I take martial arts. Just passed my black belt
You did
test.
it. I saw the video. Oh my gosh, that was awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Go on
thank
his
you.
page and look at the video. He's got a
No,
video of himself and his son kicking the freaking bricks and then
That's
chopping
all.
and
It's pretty impressive.
I was like,
And
I ain't
I'm
messing
very
with you.
much. I mean, I make that joke all the time about going Batman on somebody, but I mean that's a big part of it. You know, I train with a weapon, a gun in the range and everything else. To you know, it's like 20 feet or over, cap them. 20 feet or under, kick them. I mean, that's my philosophy. Right?
When somebody's saying rate the wine,
Rate the
Oh.
wine. So we're gonna get there.
Okay.
So Daryl, kudos, man. I want to be clear. Wasn't trying to discourage you from being in savior mode in stopping abuse of women in front of you. Only saying just to analyze your personality in that you can't save everybody and don't beat yourself up about that. That's all I was getting at. So
Oh,
thank
man.
you for the comment,
It's
man.
a long road beating yourself up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely, Daryl. Thank you, Daryl.
Mental illness has physical symptoms needing treatment. We're going to get into that on another show.
Yeah.
Healthcare professional, as a healthcare professional, we do not cure, we treat.
That's
So the
exactly
treatment is
right.
what
got us
Hey, no,
better.
that's
Yes.
exactly right. But that's the problem.
Torian, Torian said that, yeah. Daryl, the body can be cured, and there are many ways to go about it. Western medicine and treatments are purely profit-driven. There is no profit in a cure.
Hello, somebody.
That's
You better
true.
say it, Daryl.
Daryl, that's strong. I'm right
That's
there
strong,
with you.
girl.
Rate the wine.
Rate the wine.
Rate the wine. We'll close out on
Thanks,
that.
Tiffany. Great show. Thank you, sis.
Daryl,
Appreciate
great
it.
show, great topics. We'll be back again. Daryl, look forward to your comments, brother. You had some good comments, man. I really appreciate
Billy
your stuff.
Housley. Shout out to Billy Housley. She said great show. Tanisha Nicole. Hey, Tanisha. Thanks. She said great show.
So, everybody,
Rebecca.
Thank you for tuning in. I cannot thank you enough for being a part of this. This is a live, back and forth interaction. It's not just guests on the show. You are guests on the show, and I thank you for being a part of it. So, we're going to get to rating the wine. The Spanish garnacha.
Okay, did we go through the 5 steps? Did everybody go through the 5 steps? The 5 S's?
Oh, I did not.
See it, swirl it,
I did all
Swirl
Is there drinking it?
Yeah, there it is.
Smell it.
Mine's gone.
and sip
Slurp
it.
it.
I went right
You
to
gotta
that.
slurp it.
Yes, slurp it.
Just like, what was the
Let that air in there,
what was
yeah.
that, the guy, the movie about the guy who ate people anyway?
Oh.
Hannibal Lecter.
Yes, Hannibal Lecter, yes,
Silence of the
yes.
Lambs.
Yes, yes.
I ate his liver with a nice Chianti.
Oh.
Fava beans.
That is a good
That's a
direct
good way.
seller's wine. That's a
If I
good
had wine,
direct
that'd be a
seller's
good way to do
wine.
it.
Yes.
So,
This wine has a lovely, where's it at here? I read it earlier. This is horrible TV.
where are your notes? Where are your...
Notes of raspberry, strawberry, and cinnamon.
And lots of berry. Lots of berry.
Yes.
If you like the
I tasted
berries,
cinnamon.
you
I
definitely
tasted
want to
the
try
cinnamon,
that one.
yeah.
You can try it tomorrow
Didn't realize
out
that
at
was
Theo,
cinnamon I
so give us
tasted.
a...
Yeah.
One of the
No,
cool
you say
things
it,
that we
yeah.
have about the wine club we're all a part of is that we get these tasting notes that tell us all about how the wine was made, what comes in the wine, and what it pairs with. So you actually get an education. I just love wine. I don't know squat about wine. I'm not a sharp wine guy. So for me, that was a big deal. I love that aspect of the wine club in that it is giving me an education on the wine.
Yes.
And it does help me
That's why I
appreciate the
signed up, yeah.
I appreciate the wine a lot more. So I can read the notes and go, oh wow, yeah, I can taste the raspberry. That's really cool.
It's pretty funny.
So it helps develop it.
When I
Well,
saw red wine, I always thought of that dry, really
Dry,
dry.
horrible,
It
bitter.
hurts. It
Mm-mm.
hurts to
It
just
hurts to
think
go
about.
down.
Oh my God. Like,
painful.
You're thinking of
Wine's
Mad
not
Dog.
pain.
You're talking about
Oh,
Mad
Mad
Dog.
Dog
Yeah,
make you
talk
throw up
about
rainbow.
night train.
Right. Yes.
You
You
know,
know,
Wild
my
Irish
mom drinks the
Red.
dry stuff. I think Merlots, you know. This was
MD
wonderful. I had a
40
great
40.
time
I'm
with
telling
it.
too much now. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna
Okay.
rate the
I know
wine.
what you're talking about.
That's how we close out the show. Kat, go ahead and what do you give this?
Well, as
How
you
many
can-
grapes?
As you can see by my wine glass, which is empty, I went straight to the sip and I loved it. So I do give it a 5.
5 grapes from Kat.
Well, since I've already had about 20 of these bottles at the last wine tastings, and I've been drinking it all past weekend. That's why I'm detoxing. You see, my same glass is still here. I've had like one slurp. So I'm actually drinking beet juice in the other one. I've got beet juice.
I have my eye on you. I can see already.
But I give it a resounding 5 grapes. This is thebomb.com.
Very good.
I gave it 4.
This is from a beer guy.
Yeah, I'm a beer
A
guy.
beer guy.
I gave it 4. I
Okay.
really enjoyed it.
We'll take
the only
it.
reason I didn't give it 5 is because I figure there's something better out there. Because if there's something good like this, there's got to be
Gotta
something
be
better.
something, hey. And
All right,
it
all
might
right.
be in next month's bottle.
It's
Yeah.
a it's a hopeful 4.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a hopeful 4.
A 4, a
good.
rising
Me?
4.
Mine's not quite so complicated. It's wine.
5
Five.
grapes.
Five.
It's wine.
And for me, I left my sheet in my office.
borrow mine.
Yeah, okay, here we go. For me, this is a solid 4. A 4 grape, right?
4 out of 5.
I really, honestly, to be honest, the first time I had it, I think I drank straight out of the bottle. And
Didn't let it air
not
in.
literally straight, like I drank out of the bottle. I drank a glass straight out of the bottle and didn't have time to mellow.
yeah.
And it was a little harsher than I cared for. And the first time around, it was a 3 for me.
That's not what I thought you meant. I was,
Oh yeah,
I
no.
was like,
I opened this one up like an hour before the show. I opened this one up for an hour before the show and let it breathe and get some air. And I have to say, I really enjoyed this one a lot more the second time around. For me, this is a solid 4. Solid 4. I might like if I had some like 0.25s or something, I might go in there with that. Very enjoyable. Very
Some
enjoyable.
raisins at the bottom, is that what you're looking for?
Right. I give this 4 grapes and a 0.25 raisin.
At least we have no prunes.
Yeah.
We have no prunes.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. No prunes.
No prunes.
So there we go.
Yeah.
I mean, I think overall we had 2 5s. We had 3 4s. That's a 4.33. I think if I'm averaging that out of my
That
head.
was quick.
Quick math.
Yeah, it was.
He's a money guy.
You're an overachiever. That's too much. He's an overachiever.
Out of, I mean, like now.
No, this is the
23 divided by 5.
Yeah, 23 divided by 5. That's why I'm like, it's okay. It's 4.33.
It's close. It's close to
Kennedy
5.
would get it, but, you know, I gotta do this. this.
We're busting that. We are officially going to give you a ranking.
4.6.
Ah, 4.6.
You're close.
4.6.
Round it up next time.
I went the wrong direction with the point there. Never mind. Anyway, so 4.6. A 4.6 wine on the Whine Show. That's a pretty freaking great wine.
I can't
So
wait to
there
get
you
this
have
one
it.
in.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. That was our show this week. If you want to be on the Whine Show, go to wineknowwine.com. Drop your name in the hat, or just shoot me a PM on Facebook. Either way, I'll be happy to schedule you. I will tell you, the show is starting to book up now. We're booked up through the end of the month already, out to the 30th. So if you want to be on, drop your name in the hat, because I'm telling you, the show is starting to blow up, and we're going to be like 6 months out. Chris wants to be back, so I'm putting him back on the schedule.
I'm
I'm
glad
not
to
be
come
on
back.
selling my spot on the show.
But
That's why I keep saying I want back.
while there hasn't been a profit model on the show, Ken has come up with one. He's going to sell his seat on the show.
You
More than
know,
one, more than
you
one.
gotta get on here
Yes.
soon.
I paid
because
$1,000 to be on this show. What are you talking about?
we're gonna have a live audience, a studio audience soon.
Right. And they will pay to be on the
They're gonna
show.
pay to be on
That's
the
right,
show.
right.
I was going to ask you if there was
Yeah.
room for people
Look,
to watch.
that'd
That'd be a good thing.
I'm thinking that a live venue at
Studio.
wine at an art studio, right?
Art
Even
studio
if
is
With
so
an after party wine
Oh,
tasting.
yes.
A little bit
It's
more
big
toned
enough.
down Del Mar, right? A little toned down Del Mar.
Right. There we
No
go.
taking now.
My daughter's reminding
Like
me.
cut. I'm
My
just
daughter is
stopping the camera.
reminding me of the time.
I gotta get pancakes and booze.
Theoretically, the show was over at 6.
It is now.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
Bye.
Thank y'all for
Bye,
tuning
everybody.
in. We'll be here
I hope
next
some of my
week.
people watch.
We're out.